didn't think that I would know the clues lied in the catacombs. The cosmic beings who had control held the truth inside their corpse. The essence made the spires close. It wouldn't bear the iron core. You should have known this long before. You thought I'd fall for your hopes, and you didn't think I was able to see the stone held in your hand. Your brother's blood cries from the sand, and you didn't think your cane would be broken upside your head. Now they are cores, just broken glass. You really counted on this stone, as if this all had worked before, as if the gods we overthrown were telling me from within my soul. I couldn't care what power it brings when I see red. There's no such thing as a limit I won't break to crush your skull at my feet. And you didn't think I was able to see the stone held in your hand. Your brother's blood cries from the sand, and you didn't think your cane would be broken upside your head. Now they are cores, just broken glass. And you didn't think I was able to see the stone held in your hand. Your brother's blood cries from the sand, and you didn't think your cane would be broken upside your head. Now they are cores, just broken glass. And you didn't think I was able to see the stone held in your hand. Your brother's blood cries from the sand, and you didn't think your cane would be broken upside your head. Now they are cores, just broken glass. This far as you go, walking home, I know of your overlost home, and I can undo the damage you've done. I will undo the damage you've done. The realms, they will find me no closure at the hands of King Ashur Kronos, and I can undo the damage you've done. I will end your suffering. Darkness, like being lowered in a coffin. Don't even take a breath, some feel off it, it's just a stardust. Although we just ain't crawlers, we're somewhere with a sharp wit. I think we're the newest target. Get low and receive a caution, man, I'm right. And out of the bloody divine light came out a champion of mine. There is no question, just fight, fight. Maybe escape with your life. That is the king of the twilight. We look at you dead in the eyes. What it mean to be finite before you go losing your mind. I know of your overlost home, and I can undo the damage you've done. I will undo the damage you've done. The realms, they will find me no closure a joke, the lowest of lows. They prodded and laughed at all my woes, shattered my very soul with blow after blow. Just another act in their freak show. Lights, camps, crowds, fans, I can't afford to choke up now. Competition, no problem, choke them out. I'll show them what this ring is all about. When I smash, they face so hard, shake the ground. Thunderstorms, ending worlds, gods of war, clashing swords again. Thunderstorms, trembling odds, gladiators, torn apart again. You won't find mercy, I'm afraid. Thunderstorms are ending worlds again. Live or let die, there's no escape. Gods of war, clashing swords again. You can hate, you can pray on my downfall, come melee. But when the rain floods the place, you will find there is no escape. Thunderstorms, ending worlds, gods of war, clashing swords again. Thunderstorms, trembling odds, gladiators, torn apart again. You will not find mercy here, I'm afraid. Thunderstorms are ending worlds again. Live or let die, there is no escape. Gods of war, clashing swords again.
Oh man. Really a big tough guy when I listen to this music. The judge made Reckless Ben take down the videos? No. No, I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, he has not been... The videos are not taken down. He just can't post new ones. Oh, goodness. Oh, you're gonna bear with me, chat. Bear with me. Goodness. Play Tamer King of Dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure I know what game you're talking about. And I'm gonna be honest. No. No, I probably am not gonna be playing that on stream. At least not a YouTube one. Also, yes, before you exclaim it, yes, I'm using the clown outfit today. Some people are being pretty funny. Oh, man. Hello, chat. I've been like... So for the last 2 weeks, I've been on overtime. And I finally got 2 days off. But on the last... the 2 days off, I was like... One of the days, I kind of did nothing. but I still had lots of chores and things I got done. I ended up driving like 3 separate times that day. And then one other day, it was hump day, so, you know, I did a lot of prep work, all that kind of fun stuff. By the way, I'm not complaining. I'm just talking about, like, how tired I am. I'm fucking tired. We're keeping it chill tonight. Oh, man. I know Medicare is probably still streaming. Who knows? What was the first stream called? The one in the very beginning of the stream? I believe... that was by Club Doom, called F It We Ballin'. I believe so. Clown time? Yes, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it just a little bit, you know. Because people, allegedly are being funny. And so I figured we would talk about it, you know. But how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. Again, like I said, I'm tired, but I am happy. Oh, I forgot to set the goal thing for more than 30 minutes. My apologies. Give me 1 second. I'll reset it. Doing good? That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. So, 30 minutes? Let's do 3 hours to head pat the yippee. Oh. So, tonight we're going to cover some lawsuit stuff. Maybe we'll cover some of the Reckless Ben, like, okay. By cover, there really isn't anything to cover. Reckless Ben hasn't put out a video, and the only thing that we can look at is what lawyers have said. So, you know, if you guys would like to look into that, we can. We can. But, like, there really isn't any new videos from that end, and there's probably not going to be for a little bit. Just a little bit. So, you know. You know. But we can, like, talk about what some lawyers are talking about, and I can give my opinions on it. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm definitely not a legal expert, but I've been leeching enough knowledge from the Lolly and Mizu that that we can probably learn a little bit. I've been working 6 days a week. Hell yeah, man. Dude, I would totally work a 6-day week if I could. I know I'm saying I'm tired. I would work a 6-day week if I could. If I could, like, do that, I would. Get 60 hours, you know? Because I would like to get 60 hours. But make no mistake, I am tired, but I am fulfilled. Why? Because I'm making more money. I'm making an average of an additional, what is it? An additional $600 every paycheck. So, you know, I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. It's just right now, I am downing a lot of caffeine to stay awake, and it will wear off by the time I'm done. But still, I hope that you're getting some rest. All right. If you are having a day off, I hope and pray that I hope that you're getting some rest. I watched Asmon's coverage of the unhappy Plappy inquiry during work, and it's making me rageful. Are you talking about the rape gangs? We haven't read that yet. I could read that if people want me to. I'm going to be honest with you. I've listened to people talk about it, and it's just kind of made me pissed off, so I don't know if I really want to. Before after taxes. Before taxes. After taxes, it's more like an additional $450, $500 a paycheck. And that's every 2 weeks. So, you know. This month I'm making an extra like $1,000, which I am not going to scoff at. It's black pilling. Oh, it's definitely very black pilling. What I did listen to. Okay, I'll start off talking about this. I'll start off talking about it like this. Because excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I had to. Oh, sorry. I'm not one of those VTubers that. Listen, I'm a weird VTuber, but I'm not the one that likes to burp into the camera intentionally. You know. Brace for it if you read it. So here's my understanding of the rape gang report. The rape gang report is a document that was produced that is supposed to cover 70 years worth of like data in England or the UK, excuse me. That's my understanding for it. People can correct me if I'm wrong. And it's my understanding that the tracking is 70 years because that's when they specifically decided to let in specific Middle Eastern immigrants into the country. And they started tracking it from about like a rough 70-year gap, basically. Am I going to put on the shocker? I haven't thought about putting it on tonight. I haven't put on the shock collar yet this week. But I figured that since I mean, I am playing games later tonight. If people really want me to put it on, I guess I can put it on. Here, I'll make a poll, and if you guys want me to put it on during games, I'll put it on. Wear collar? Yes, no. All right, vote now. You have the chance to vote in this democracy, which is really just YouTube, because I don't go anywhere else to ask for votes because I'm lazy. But no, it's my understanding that the report is a 70-year kind of like study. Well, not 70 years, or like a study of 70 different years, where they like studied like crime statistics after they started letting in specific groups of people, and it was incredibly shocking just how much crime took place, specifically related around the harming of not just women, but like young women, as in underage women. And that was incredibly sad to hear about, because you don't think about it. And I think a lot of people might have known to a lesser extent. And I since I haven't looked at the statistics, I don't know like if it got worse within the last 20 years, or if it's just like been a slow build, or if it's always been this bad. I have absolutely no idea. But it's just incredibly depressing to see that like over a 70-year period, there have been allegedly 250,000 victims. Now I don't know if that's separate individuals, or if if it's like one person with like multiple different crimes, and each crime is counted as a statistic. I am not sure. But like that is just downright fucking disgusting to me. Downright, like, just legitimately, it is one of the most diabolical things that I've ever heard of. I'm just going to be honest with you. They're really, like, I'm sorry that I'm tired. I'm so tired that, like, I can't formally, like, throw my anger all the way towards it. I do apologize. And it was kind of an eye-opener to me. Like, legitimately, it was a jaw-dropping eye-opener. Some boys were, I'm going to expect that some young men were also like thrown in the mix as well. I'm not going to say they weren't, but it was just jaw-dropping to me, the amount of it that goes on. And, you know, to give you guys some context, I was homeschooled. And part of being homeschooled, at least in my parents' house, is my mom wanted me to learn. You know, I grew up a Mormon, but despite growing up a Mormon, and despite believing that your religion is the right religion and everybody else might have pieces, but they're ultimately wrong, we still believed in learning about other religions. And so my mother thought it was judicious of her to teach me about every single other religion, despite the fact that we believed that our religion, obviously, I mean, everybody believes that their religion is the right religion. But I think at least with the Mormon faith, I do think some people like have this weird sense of superiority. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them, at the very least, I felt like had this odd sense of superiority when it came to feeling like they were the right one, if that makes sense. But that doesn't really matter. The reason why I bring it up is my mom really, really wanted me to learn about other faiths. And one of the faiths that I like spent a season talking about was the Muslim faith. And we studied, well, I should say, I studied not the entire Quran, because, you know, I was a teenager, and I already rolled my eyes when Mom said that I needed to read the Old Testament and the New Testament. So I didn't read the entire Quran, but I read sections of the Quran. And I don't think my mom was incredibly like too well exposed to a lot of it either. Because I think that if she like knew the entirety of what some of these people believed, I don't think she would have I don't think like it's incredibly unsavory, you know, like just absolutely incredibly unsavory for me to think about, like, because a lot, and you know, there is a chance that it is entirely possible that not all of them think like this, but like it is written into some of these people's core tenets that they believe that women specifically that aren't like properly dressed to their specific standards are considered whores. And because they are considered whores and because they are considered like lesser, some of these men believe or conditioned to think that they are allowed to do whatever they want. Now, I don't know that as like an absolute fact, because again, I am not like, I only read select parts of the thing, and I am like learning slowly now more about what about it. But it's just incredibly depressing to see that an entire religion, or at least like maybe even a subsection of it, believes that because people that aren't of their faith aren't dressing the way that they believe, that they should be allowed to rape, pillage, and murder them. You know? It's interesting to see the Mormons complain about not getting the Christian moniker. You know what's really funny about that? What's funny is, I'll switch over to that for a moment. Just because I don't think that, I mean, maybe it'll come up when I talk to Celeste tomorrow. So for those that don't know, there was a report that came out, and it's my understanding that the report had classifications for religions, and the only reason why that they had these classifications is it made it easier for the army to figure out how to properly give resources, excuse me, to their soldiers, basically. Like it wasn't like something that like the US itself properly like cared about. It's my understanding that like the classification thing was purely for the army to figure out like how to give resource. And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me, by the way, because, you know, I'm not in the army, so God knows I could be incorrect on that. But that's kind of my understanding from my brief reading of it. And in this report, they decided to clean up a lot of things that they didn't feel like matched. They took out a lot of religions, and they decided to whittle down the classifications of a lot of things. And what happened is there was a lot of faiths that were considered Christian, but Mormons were not considered part of the Christian faith. Now, if you'll talk to a Mormon, which, you know, technically kind of counts me, I guess, you would probably say that that's unfair, considering that they believe, and I believe by extension, that while we don't believe in some of the same tenets that a lot of the other religions do, the main belief is that if you believe in Christ, like Jesus Christ himself, and you believe in the core tenets of Jesus Christ, then technically you should be considered a Christian. And I don't feel like it's kind of crazy to say that. I don't know. Just like if you believe in Christ, and you believe in the saving power of Christ, and you believe and you worship Christ as your like ruler, then you should be considered Christian. I mean, that's my personal opinion. You know, I'm sure that like tomorrow when I talk with Celeste, we'll get into the I want to say, by the way, me and Celeste are going to have a conversation on her channel. I might not do it on mine. Chances are it will probably just be on hers. But like, we'll probably talk about that. But like, I know a lot of people will immediately say, oh, you don't believe in the Trinity, and the Trinity is the end-all be-all thing. And again, my whole thought process is just like, well, if being a Christian is believing in Christ, you know, if being a Christian is believing in Christ and worshiping Christ, my whole thing is just like, so, what, like, if that's your only hang up, I think that's a kind of crazy hang up, but that's just me. That's just me. I have a, listen, here's the funny thing, that I think, I think about often. I think a lot of people need to study the early organization of the church, of Christ's church, okay? Because, man, I'm getting into talking about Christianity when I typically don't do it, and I try not to. But you know, we'll do it here for just a little bit, and I hope that people are okay with that. I won't stick on it too long. But due to how the early church was created, the church was created with Christ, and then he had his apostles, and then he appointed his apostles to be the leaders of the church and to carry things out and to do things. And the belief is that as time went on, and man was more used as opposed to relying on faith and relying on the ability to discern and listening to God. My personal belief is that people kind of lost what God was trying to tell them, and because man is crazy, because man is cringe, and because man likes to distort things so that they can gain power, my belief is that the further that the church went on, the more it turned from having leaderships of people to managers of people that manage people and get them to do things. And so you kind of like lose out. And then like you had that whole council, the Council of Nicaea, where a whole bunch of people got together and they were trying to figure out and decide what people should believe and all that kind of stuff. So like my thought process is very jaded on just like Christianity in general. 'Cause like you have a bunch of people that back then, at the very least, were trying to control the medieval masses, and like they were trying to tell people what to believe, and they got to decide how things should go together. And I don't know. So I've always just kind of like been like interested in figuring that out, you know. I also think part of the problem is a lot of people have there's not one Bible that people will turn to. There is interpretations of the same Holy Bible that people will turn to, and that's why and people will say, oh, I believe in the King James Version, or I believe in that's the only Bible that I've read, honestly. But there'll be different Bibles that that people say they believe in, and unfortunately, each Bible has words written differently. Some Bibles are rewritten to be more applicable to the man of today, all that kind of things. And so because of that, it's very, very confusing and very like rough to kind of go through all of that. And it's very interesting, I will say. One of the things that kind of like cemented me, and just kind of like some of the things that I believe, is one, learning about the history of the church after Christ left, and two, figuring out like, well, if you have problems with how these kinds of congregations are built up, if you believe that men took over what was supposed to be God's church, and that the question would be, what do you believe that that there is a way to like get answers about that, if you know. But I'll talk about that more tomorrow, you know. Again, like I said, and people are free to disagree with me on it, and that's completely fine. I don't necessarily care, because at the end of the day, and I told this to people, I told this to people, I told this to people like when I was a missionary. Number one, I don't argue with people. I don't argue with people about faith. Because my belief is when you get down in the mud, like what I do when I talk about drama, is not how I talk about religion. When I actually sit down and talk with somebody about what I believe, it's incredibly, vastly different, because my belief is that when you talk about religion, you cannot have a spirit of contention, because when there is a spirit of contention, there is no Christ, there is no God. There is only the devil, because Christ is not a God of contention. Christ is a God of love. And so my belief is that you cannot talk about Christ when you have contention in your heart, which is why I never like argued with people on the streets about it. You know, I met a lot of people when I was a missionary that just wanted to argue with me. They wanted to quote Bible verses, and it's just like, man, listen, we can sit down and we can talk about this, but if you want to just try and throw a whole bunch of things out at me to try and confound me, all I'm going to tell you is Christ isn't going to be here, and I'm not interested in like having a conversation about him when I know he's not going to be here, if that makes sense. You know, some people got really mad when I said that. Some people get really mad when I said that, but you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. So, you know, I'll be brushing up on what I know tomorrow for when I talk to Celeste tomorrow night. But what I typically like to tell people is just like, you know, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, my personal beliefs are based off of not just, well, it's a very small section based off of history, but it is based off of what I believe and pray, what my prayers that I've had and my meditation I've had and the great many hours I've spent trying to come to find Jesus for myself. That's not something that a priest can give you. That's not something a bishop can give you. That's not something that the Pope can imbue upon you. You praying, you reading your scriptures, and you coming to know Christ yourself is the only way that you will be able to figure out how to live your life. You know, it doesn't matter, like, if you don't want to believe in one faith or another, that's completely fine. At the end of the day, I don't really care. Thank you.
Obviously, Occo is
I'll wait for this to go through.
A lost cause.
The only religion I'd worship is Unitology. Altman be
I've never
praised.
heard of this, of that one, but thank you, I appreciate it. You know, at the end of the day, my advice to a lot of people is, you know, if you don't want to listen to this message, that's fine. Make sure that you're asking God what you should listen to, you know, because that's the most important thing to me, is making sure that people are first finding a relationship with Christ. Because, you know, there's a lot of different religions out there, and you shouldn't go shopping around for one. You should ask God, and you should pray to God where your heart needs to go, you know, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm talking way more about religion than I'm going to be honest with you, I planned on ever doing in a lot of my streams. Oh, my apologies, excuse me. But if you're interested in, if you want to actually hear me and Celestium have a conversation and sit down upon it, you know, and talk about it, we will be doing it tomorrow around the same time. Again, I don't know if I'll be streaming it. If I will, you guys will know. But otherwise, I'll more likely than not just be on her channel. But to round that out, Let's go back to the whole Mormon Christianity thing. Apparently, a Mormon senator called the president, or excuse me, it's not even that. Donald Trump called a Mormon senator, and Trump was like, I really like the Mormons. They're very nice people. They've done a whole lot for me. I love them. They're really big supporters, because Mormons are typically way more conservative than they are Democrat, typically. And so Trump talked with, I think it was Glenn Beck. I think. I might be wrong about that. But he was talking to a conservative that was Mormon. Thank you. I'll wait for this to go through.
MommaOcco.
Unitology is basically space Scientology.
I see.
It's from Dead Space. Play Dead Space.
I need to play Dead Space. Also, Tapeworm says I get my Bible lore from Redemption TCG. That's a good TCG, by the way. But Trump talked to Glenn Beck, and he's like, "Oh, we got to fix this, all that kind of stuff." And I heard that instead of just like adding Christianity to Mormons, they just removed Christianity from everybody. They just removed it from everybody, allegedly. You know? So nobody is Christian now, according to that list, allegedly. I haven't seen the list, so I can't really say that. But that's what I was told, is that like there was a backroom talk between a Mormon and a president, and now nobody is Christian. And it's just like, if I can't be Christian, nobody's allowed to be Christian. Some shit like that, you know? What game am I playing tonight? I'll be playing Toontown later tonight. That will be my jam, because I love Toontown, and until I get bored with it and want to do something else, that will be what I do. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I think, again, going back, just going to that whole thing, one thing that bothers me, just about Christianity in general, not like Christ, but just like the different sects in general, is a lot of people, I feel like, they take on the name of Christ, but then they walk around and use Christ as like some kind of weapon, and I've never understood that. Again, it goes back to the whole I don't argue with people on the streets, you know? And it just is like so bizarre to me. You know, my thought process is like, oh, do I disagree with Jews about Christ? Yes. Do I disagree with Muslims about their gods? Absolutely yes. Do I disagree with some Christians about how they choose to carry their faith? Obviously yes. But at the end of the day, you know, I have always just got this belief that like we can try and coexist together, at least like people that I consider to be Christ-like, because we are all worshiping, at least to my understanding, the same guy. But it's just like some Christians get so upset and so mean. It's just confusing to me, I guess. We talk about Melanie Mac. Oh, we could be if you want to. But it's just like so confusing to me. Because it's just like you can be like, I don't agree with what you believe, and that's fine. I don't really care. But the core tenet of Christianity, well, excuse me, two of the great commandments that Christ gave is just like, you are to love me. Like, he's like, a new commandment, to love me and then love your neighbor. Like, it's like literally the two things he gave. Like, you could supersede every single commandment and just say, love God and love your neighbor. Because if you had both of those in mind, basically everything applies. You'd be following all 10 commandments if you just loved God and you loved your neighbor, you know? And it's just so confusing to me sometimes, seeing how some Christians say that they take up the name of Christ, and yet they use it as a way to mow people down, and it's just kind of confusing to me. It's why, by the way, I am not, like, I don't consider myself part of the quote-unquote Christian VTuber space, because I don't really like a whole lot of Christian VTubers. You know, Celestium is kind of like an outlier. You know, she's chill, and she doesn't act crazy. But yeah, I just get like so confused and almost like sad, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's just like, it's an enigma to me, if that makes sense. It is an enigma. And I'll never understand it. I will never understand it. But, anyway. Anyway. I do agree with not getting involved with others. Yeah, I'm just not for it. Because I saw so many people just, like, screaming at other individuals. You know, I like to follow the, Vic Mignogna style of, like, being a good Christian. Because Vic Mignogna talks about, like, obviously you can choose not to associate with people that you don't like, or you can choose to correct people in a good way. But I've always loved how Vic Mignogna is like, God is a God of love, and that means that he shepherds and he helps people, you know. But I have listen, you guys are giving me names that I've never heard before, so I can't help you there. I can't help you there. Which is easier to love God without false idols? Yeah. Pokemon cards, that's a false idol. That's a false idol I have to walk away from. Oh goodness. Anyway, we'll save any continuing talk on that for tomorrow. Going back to the Muslim rape gangs, alleged rape gangs. That's quite the transition back and forth. I get really sad reading about it, you know? Really, really sad reading about it. And, I don't really, like, know what you can do. Because, like, you know, I make fun of British people. You know, I make fun of British people all the time because, you know, British people fucking suck. I don't like a lot of them. A lot of them are just hoity-toity, whiny, bitchy people. And I couldn't give less two shits for them, which is crazy to say considering the previous topic. But I look at what's going on with the grooming gangs, the rape gangs that are in the UK. And I say to myself, what can be done? What can be done for these people? And part of me wonders if there is nothing that can be done. You know? Part of me wonders if there is zero way for them to like get something done.
Oh my God,
I don't know.
got milkers.
I am sorry, Occo, but it's hard to take the Mormon faith seriously when they haven't made an official anime mascot yet.
That's fair. I'll petition the prophet. Fun fact, the current prophet is a Supreme Court justice. Dallin H. Oaks, he used to be on the Supreme Court. I'll write him a letter and say, hey, you got to get hip with the young men and young women. So you gotta make a you gotta make yourself an anime figure. Nukes can be done. I mean, unironically, I did listen to somebody today say that it would be so easy for the US to just nuke them. I don't think we'd be able to get away with that, probably. But yeah, I don't know what you can do. The problem is they don't have guns. They don't have knives for much less. There's a lot of shit that they're not allowed to own. And because they're not allowed to own it, how do they defend themselves from people, you know? Complex question as to the state of law and what status governments have. Yeah. Blackpilling is what they want. Sure. Sure, sure, sure. More mommy. Oh, you guys are funny. See, one thing that's always been kind of funny is some people don't think that like some people get mad when you like do little pokes at your religion. I make fun little pokes at mine all the time, you know. Where's my million wives? Can you guys send us a few thousand of the special edition Nerf guns like you did in World War II? Pretty please. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Mormons have high councils, get planets and profits. Okay, the Mormons owe George Lucas a lot of royalties. Technically, it was Joseph Smith created it before then. If you want to say that he just like made it all up without the direction of God, then technically Joseph Smith is the one that gets the royalties. The harm is in the basement. Oh fuck, okay. Good to know. Good to know, good to know. If anything, look at the British Conservative Party being worthless. It's the same with Japan's Conservative Party. Sadly. Sadly, sadly. I do genuinely think what it would take is for the government to literally just say, we will murder all of these horrible people. Like, your government literally just has to say, we want to murder all of these people and get rid of all these people, deport all of them out of our country, you know? And that would be what you have to do, you know? I poke fun at everything. No, I think that's what you should do. You know? Although there's some religions you're not allowed to poke at, because if you do, you lose your ability to bank. And that's not cool, in my personal opinion. You know, everybody should be open to ridicule, all that kind of stuff, you know? Book of Abraham. This is true. This is true. I'm on YouTube. Last I checked, I was on YouTube. Yeah. I didn't, was I ever not on YouTube? I'm kind of confused right now. Listen, we're not going to glow that hard today. I'll tell you right now, we're not going to go that hard today. But I am not, if for those that are curious, which party I consider myself, neither. Neither. I do not belong to either political party. And you can't really like put me in one. I don't belong to either. People aren't ready to stomach change. Probably not. They're gonna have to really quickly when they realize that their country is literally like in a gutter. You know? You're gonna have to. I don't know. You know, if you're... I'm genuinely curious. Like, if you are British... If you are British... I am genuinely curious. What do you have to say about the state of your country? I'm like legitimately, I'm genuinely curious. How do you like? I imagine if you're in my chat right now, you probably are able to speak a little bit more on it. How's the stream going? It's going. We're glowing right now. Just a little bit. Involves gravity. They keep denying the problem. And God knows why they keep denying the problem. Who knows? Redacted. Fair. Being a first world country, being poorer than Mississippi. I forgot about that. Oh, goodness. I'm clueless. I'm sorry to hear that. Sparky raid. Well, hello, Sparky. Chat, can you guys all wish Sparky a happy birthday? I'm going to assume that if you're raiding Sparky that Medicare has finished. Hopefully he gave you a happy birthday. because it is Sparky's birthday today. I have no idea how old he is, but we'll just say that he's a very old Indian. Thank you. Thank you for 6 months. Look at that, half a year of being on the channel. Very based. Demo results on R34 is 784. Jeez, that's crazy. Oh, it's 796 now. I've lived in Canada for 26 years. I'm sorry, both of those suck. We're more boned than most. No, yeah, you're in Canada. That's not good. The rulers do this to oppress people, probably. Again, like, I joke and make fun of the fact that I hate excuse me, the UK. But I genuinely don't think anybody deserves to have, like, this happen to them, you know? I just don't feel like anybody deserves that. The question that you come around with, though, is how do they fix it, you know?
From MommaOcco.
No BD from Jim, but 3 plays of Rhythm of the Night and Jade made custom animation for it.
This is true. She did make custom animation for it. That was kind of neat. I did see that. I can never leave my mother and brother behind. Darsky, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. My not head mod, one of my mods there. Canada has normal healthcare. They have to make cruel and hard decisions. Is the UK capable of making those kinds of decisions? Are you guys capable of being able to do the thing that actually needs to be done? Like, is that actually, like, because the only way you fix it is you need your own 1776. That's the only way you get it fixed. Is you need a 1776 in your country. I think that's the most chill way of saying it, I think. Thank you for 18 months, Sparky.
Don't bring that shit on me, okay? Please.
Very much appreciated. Only a select few. Yeah, that's the problem. Funny paint. Careful now, chat. Careful. Not any Quango. Yeah, but like, again, this is I really have to glow here when I say it, but it's just like the only way to solve that problem is to not let these people take away your weapons. You guys want to know a fun fact? You know the Sikhs? And the Sikhs, I know that there are a lot of Sikhs in the UK right now. You want to know something interesting? A Sikh person can carry a knife with them because it's part of their religion. So somebody that worships in the Sikh faith can carry a knife, but you can't even carry a butter knife around with you because you'll get arrested. You know that kid who got stabbed after getting arrested? His killer was a Sikh. I was so like part of me was like so sure that when I saw that, I was like so sure that people were gonna be like, nope, we're done with this. This is fucking gay. You know, I was so sure that people were just gonna like get upset. You know, they didn't. They got a religious license. They did. They did. Firearm faith. The knife is one of the Sikhs' 5Ks. Yeah. Now, I should say, I'm not saying that as like a as a dig on the faith itself. I'm sure that there are Sikh people that are just fine. That's not the problem. The problem is just that, like, you've got this religion where they're allowed to carry knives, and the rest of the country isn't allowed to carry knives. Or much less firearms to correct yourself. or to excuse me, correct, protect yourself. And it's just like, how am I supposed to feel about that? That's kind of crazy, in my personal opinion. So, yeah, I don't know. Muslims let him be convicted. Oh, goodness. It's really unfortunate, I'm gonna be honest with you. Because, like, we all knew that like this would be what happens. And I do think that the US is taking a look at this, and most people are like, oh, we don't want that for us. I am always worried, though. I am always worried that we might unfortunately pander to a wrong group of people, and those people will allow this to... I don't know. I'm trying not to be too black-pilled on that. I don't want to abandon my home. I get that. Listen, I get it. And I'm not saying you should abandon your home. But if you can't leave or you don't want to leave, you got to protect yourself. Or protect the people that matter to you. It will come to the US if we're not careful. If we're not careful, it could come to the US. The good ones will turn a blind eye, sadly. No, yeah, the previous administration was already doing it. I do think that, like, stopping that, like, I wouldn't say that we're in a state of execution on that kind of shit, but I do think that right now, at the very least, we have the chance to radically stop that kind of BS before it becomes a problem, if that makes sense. My personal opinion. What is this about? Well, we're talking about the rape gangs in the UK. Look at the CDL crisis. I mean, I'm not saying that wasn't a problem. We did get it fixed up really quickly, though. The problem with the CDL thing is that's an issue that's like a greater whole. There are many more problems that are like that in much of our infrastructure, excuse me. And they're not going to get corrected until somebody gets hurt. Like, I remember I worked at Amazon. When I was working at Amazon, some guy got his foot hurt by the cart. Because at Amazon, they have these carts that, like, swerve things back and forth to carry your bags and your boxes to your vehicles. And these carts can be really fucking heavy. And they do have securement in order to keep them from moving, because you can't have these things move while you're trying to load them. Now, some stations, if these things end up not working, they will take these out of service. But there was one station I was at where they did not take them out of service if they were broken, which is a heavy safety hazard. And so one day, one of the guys there got hurt. His foot ended up almost getting broken, or it might have been broken. I can't remember. It's been a while. And he said, if you don't correct this, I'm suing the company. Next day, Amazon took out like 10 or 20 of those carts, put the red labels on them, and they started fixing it. Because, like, they don't want him to sue them because they didn't correct an issue that could have very easily been fixed. So, the takeaway that I'm trying to give here is that these kinds of situations don't get fixed until somebody is hurt. Is that right? Absolutely not. I think that is insane to me. That it takes somebody potentially losing their life or getting hurt in order for something to get fixed. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there is literally there's no way around it. Some companies will literally just choose not to give a shit until somebody gets hurt. You know? And so the point I'm trying to make is the CDL stuff, absolutely gross negligence. But I do think that there will be fixes for it. They've already basically signed it into law. They've already basically made it to where if you don't correct this, your asses can get sued. You can be held liable. And now a lot of the brokers are just saying, we don't want to deal with this stuff. Get this asshole off the road. So if you want to be a truck driver, you better have good standing with the firm, not cut corners, all that kind of shit. Because if you do, you're going to be pulled off the road. You know? So I would hope and pray that that is actually corrected, you know? But we'll see. Boo. We'll see. Hope he's okay. I can't remember, but I want to say that the guy was okay. The point, again, that I'm trying to make is companies don't make changes until a lawsuit is on the table. Anyway. I need to take a brief idle meeting. The court system is broken. It is very broken. I won't argue with you there. I need to take a brief idle meeting. Give me 2-3 minutes. When I come back, chat, did you hear that Lakari came back to streaming? You know, the black guy that got found with a text document that gave a lot of very sus information on it, leading to some very sus downloadable websites. Well, that guy came back to streaming recently, and he's not arrested, so I'm going to assume that the cops either investigated him or they just decided that he wasn't worth arresting at this point. I don't know where you would throw that. But like he wasn't arrested. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go through his forensics report that he has here, because he gave an entire forensics report that you can read. And we're going to read it because it's interesting. And I haven't seen a lot of people like go through it, so we're going to do that. We're also going to talk about the iDubbbz lawsuit. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. I might have some tech tone stuff. And then we're just going to chill for the rest of the night. So give me 2 or 3 minutes to use the restroom. And then when I get back, we'll go through that. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. Ooh, this is a good song to continue on. Again, I apologize if I'm slow, chat. But I think you guys are alright with it. If you weren't alright with it, you wouldn't be here. I'm still apologizing anyway. Listen to Niannis read your grooming gangs, made my skin crawl? No, yeah. With what I listened to, I was just... I was not a fan by any stretch of the imagination, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get started with what I have for you guys today. We're about an hour into the stream, and we're finally going on to the first actual topic that I decided that I wanted to bring up. So, you guys remember Lakari, right? Lakari, as I understand it, is a very big anime guy. He loves the anime. He's a very big anime guy. And he is also a gooner. Or formerly, I believe. We'll figure that out as we watch this video here. Back in January, I think it was either January or February, this guy was found to have a notepad that he accidentally opened on his computer that had a whole bunch of sus links. Now, me personally, I refuse to touch that, because if the sus links actually led to something, I don't want that touching my computer in any way, shape, or form. So my thought process was, if there is anything actually serious, then the police will investigate it. And the police are going to be the ones that do the work. As far as I know, police haven't been involved. I have no idea. Which is kind of crazy in my personal opinion. But we're going to listen to what this man has said. Excuse me. I have listened to it. I have thoughts and opinions, but I listened to it once when it came out. Like 2 days ago. So we're going to listen to it again. I am curious what you guys think. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Do you think that this man is innocent? Or do you think that he's getting away with something sus right now? As always, I'm curious to see what you guys think. Was it? No. Allegedly, there was no CP on any of those links. It was just really, 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 really bad sus links. Allegedly. Again, you're never going to see me look them up. There's ain't no way I'm going to sit down and verify those links on my computer. Are you insane? Yeah. Anyway. So, this is... This is his returning statement. We're going to listen to it. We're going to listen to it. And by the way, I'm opening up the room for my friends if they want to come in. It is now the time where friends can come in and chill with me. If they would so choose. How's this a Clipper not in jail? I guess he's just not guilty. Guess he's just not guilty. Who knows? Now, I will say, starting off, I I hate how this man puts his room together. Okay? It just... I hate it. Sorry, I'm tired. But, like... Let me sit up here. I hate how he put his room together because it feels like he doesn't know how to actually put a room together, or he doesn't have a woman in his life that can tell him this should go here, this should go there, you know? He's missing, in my personal opinion, one of the most core tenets of any bedroom or just any room in general. And that is a good rug. You need to have a good rug in order to bring the room together. There is no rug here. I also really hate his shelf that he's storing stuff on. Like most anime guys, when they have a shelf for all of their collections and stuff, I'm going to assume the shelf behind him is not the only place that he keeps his material, his gooning material, or just like his shelf stuff here. Can I have this in 1080p? Thank you. But I hate his shelf because this is not a shelf. That shelf right there was not made for anime figurines and Mario with bunny ears on. Okay. Just call him maidenless. Fair. I'm just gonna criticize the room because I hate it. Like I hate how there's no style in the room. I hate how he's got like this weird secondhand desk with a secondhand chair here. Like this man is supposed to be a professional. Like, listen, I had a desk like this and I had a chair like this when I wasn't a professional streamer. This guy, to my understanding, this guy has like over 250,000 followers on Twitch. This man needs to get like a normal chair. It's not this. And this is like a kitchen chair. Why is this kitchen chair in here? Again, if you're not a streamer, I am okay with this. You know, don't think that I'm going to criticize you because I've seen some of your guys' computer setups. If this is you, that's fine. Just don't like if you're a professional streamer, get like a rolling chair for your bedroom. Just not this. That needs to go back into the kitchen. And he's bald? Yes. He's bald, chat. And he's black. He's bald and black. Oh, God. So a lot of people still think that this guy is a chomo. I am not sure where I'm gonna lean on it. We're gonna listen to it again. And then we're gonna go through this. This is his forensics report. I know how to speak. This is his forensics report that was modified on June 7th. We're going to go through it. We're going to read it. And you guys are going to tell me what you think about it. Whether or not you think that he actually is cleared and all that kind of stuff. Also, I notice he has an anime pic right here. I don't know what this anime pic is supposed to be. I don't know. Who is this anime girl, chat? I don't recognize her. Is she from one of his games that he really likes? I have no idea. But I need you to tell me. Anyway, let's go ahead and listen to this. And let's see, chat. You can tell me if you think he's vindicated or not.
Yo, chat.
Okay, hold on. Can't hear him at all if I have that on, so...
It's really nice to see all you guys again.
By the way, it's my understanding that this was recorded live. I don't recommend that you do that, okay? I recommend that if you're gonna record yourself saying that nothing is wrong, that this is something that you do with a pre-written script. Also, I just... Is this an air fryer? That's an air fryer right there. Listen, chat. Again, I don't know this man. I assume before the controversy that this man had a pretty sizable audience. I have no idea how good his audience is now. But it's my understanding that this guy is rich or quote unquote has money. Don't know how much money he has. This man has money. Why the fuck is your air fryer on a tiny TV stand table plugged into the wall in your room? That is so ghetto. Again, like I don't care if like you're a private person, you can make your room as dirty as you want. I just don't want to see it. But like this guy is a professional live streamer with 250,000 subscribers plus, and supposedly he gets a lot of traffic towards him. Why is this in his room? He's got to keep the fried chicken warm. That's not what an air fryer is for, and you know it, chat. Why this looks like a sorry, my hair is kind of covering it, but there's like a little steamer or like vacuum right here. This is just like, bro, you are literally being the stereotype that everybody says that you are. Why are you doing this to yourself? I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. Just like, please take these things out of the view of the camera. Nobody needs to see it. And then also like make your shelf look better. Rich people just don't live in luxury. I get that, but like, here's my problem. Only one person I know is allowed to be in squalor, and I feel like it's acceptable, and that's Asmongold. Because that's Asmongold's aesthetic. Everybody else needs to like make their set look decent. You know, even if you didn't want to put anything behind, like, I'm not saying this guy has to put on neon lights, and I'm not saying that he has to like have fancy shit. But at the very least, man, get a normal looking shelf for your anime. You gotta respect the anime, alright? You gotta respect the anime. You gotta respect the figurines. The figurines honestly need to go into a glass case so that they never get to breathe oxygen ever again. And you gotta treat this better, because the background here, like, again, this is a private... almost said the N-word. This is a private Nibbler's living space. This is not a live streamer that gets tons and tons of views. All right, just saying. Just saying.
Sorry, give me a second. A little emotional.
Oh, by the way, he's extremely emotional. It is my understanding that he does cry during this. Does the alarm beep? No, but if you want to donate $10, you can get the thing to beep potentially yourself. So if you wanna do something very funny, you could donate $10. Obviously not required, but you can.
I do want to say, a lot's happened, and
a lot has definitely, I feel like that's the understatement of the fucking century. A lot has happened. You bet so. You've been gone for like 6 months. The NY is strong with this one. Yes. Bring Jazz into the call. I think Jazz is live right now. Pretty sure Jazz is live right now. Yeah.
we start the stream, though, I do want to address some things. I want to talk about, where I've been, what happened in January, and, kind of what I've been doing and stuff.
Okay. So he's got his life updates for us. We're going to figure out, because again, it's been like 6 months. This happened in January. What has happened? What has this man done, basically? Because my thought process is, okay, if he's gone for 6 months and then he comes back, a police investigation has happened and is done. They've taken his hard drives and they have concluded, sir, your hard drives are clean. Or at the very least, we can't find anything, so they are clean, So that was my thought process, is that he was going to be gone that long, and then maybe he would have some kind of, what do you call it? Have some kind of, like, fuck, my brain just died there. That he would go to therapy, excuse me. So, like, that was my thought process, is that he was going to get the police to look at his computer, and that he was going to, go to therapy to figure out his gooning problem, because apparently he has a big gooning problem.
So I want to start off by saying the way I handled that situation in January was terrible.
I just realized this, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, legitimately, I'm going to nitpick on everything, and I'm sorry. You can dislike the stream if the nitpicking is too much. I noticed two things. Number one, what the fuck is this mic setup right here? Bro, that's not how you treat an XLR mic. That's not how you treat the wire. I know it's thick, and I know it's meant to be tugged around with, but this wire needs to go, like, you've got the straps for it, you fucking retard. Why? Oh, I hate this. This is just a thing that bothers me. Also, you see that little zip tie right there? That little zip tie that's just right on the end of this fucking thing? You know how long it would take for you to snip that off so that it's no longer there? 2 seconds. Bro. I hate that that's like the first thing that I noticed in my in my personal opinion. That just upsets me a lot. But beyond all that, he did handle the initial situation poorly. Again, if people watched that video or watched the review, like when he got caught, he tried to pretend that it just didn't happen. He like spent 2 or 3 hours streaming basically after it was revealed that he had that link on his computer. And at first he just pretended it didn't exist. And then he tried to say that it wasn't like a big deal. And then he decided to be like, oh, maybe there's a virus on my computer and that's why it showed up. And then he downloaded an antivirus and the antivirus said, you've got no viruses, which is hilarious because the antivirus is in itself a virus, in my personal opinion. So, he tried and failed for a couple of hours to try and prove that he was, you know, not what people were starting to think he was. And then eventually he just decided to end the stream. So to say that he handled it poorly is kind of an understatement in my personal opinion because it was awful.
I ended up showing you guys a link that suggested some pretty questionable content. And you were all...
Okay, so my question is, was the content investigated? Am I crazy or is that an air fryer? I just pointed that out! Yes, it's an air fryer. I'm pretty sure that's an air fryer. Yes. Oh, fuck.
All definitely right to be concerned about that. I should have taken the situation seriously, but...
To be honest, the only way to take it seriously is to end the stream and stop talking and go to the police. That's the only way you handle it seriously. I don't know how much more serious you can get with that kind of shit. It just stop streaming and investigate how that shit got onto your computer.
In the moment, I panicked.
That's a very fair thing to say. He definitely did panic, yes.
I ended up making a bunch of stupid excuses.
Yes.
In downplaying the situation.
Yes, I agree.
For that, I take full accountability.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was very dishonest and I fucked up.
So you're taking accountability. Okay. I just realized this. So he's saying he's taking accountability. Is this taking accountability for the downplaying of it? Is that what he? Because like I don't know what else he's taking accountability. Like I don't know honestly, but like he's taking accountability for I guess not taking it more seriously. I'm glad at least he's doing that, but that's kind of funny.
I was touring a 2D hentai game and the text documents came in a zip file alongside the game.
Okay. So this is where it's revealed where the file actually came from. And he's going to admit here, we'll continue this in a moment, but he's going to admit that he is a collector of Gooner games. That he just like collects them like I collect Pokemon cards. That he's got like, maybe he's got like a binder, a virtual binder of all of his hentai games that's on his computer. I'm going to be honest with you. I know that there is a lot of hentai games. I know that they exist. My question is just like, how many exist? Because this man basically talks like he's able to download 1 or 2 new ones every single day, and it's kind of crazy.
Inside the link was malware, scams used to steal credit card information, and pornographic videos ripped from Pornhub.
We just talked about how he did run an antivirus, and the antivirus came up clean, so I'm confused here. Unless the antivirus was wrong, you didn't have any viruses on your computer. I'm confused here. So now I'm a little confused, because like in his previous, when he tried to distract himself, he was literally like, oh guys, I bet you like, I bet you it's just an antivirus and all that kind of shit. You can download 1 or 2 a day. There are that many. Fair. Favorite Pokemon card I own? Probably the Latias card. It's being graded right now, chat. I'll see about showing it off to you guys when I get it back. But I am grading my Latias EX card right now. I'd say that's probably my favorite. That one or the Zygarde, because the Zygarde was a really nice card too. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, let's continue.
I want to make this clear. I don't condone or consume exploitative or illegal material of any sort.
Okay. Okay. It's up to you to trust him on that one there.
Now, this is a very serious situation. So,
I'm glad he says that.
I submitted all of my hardware to Exhibit A Computer Forensics for a full independent investigation.
Oh my gosh. So I actually, because again, I listened to this. I didn't actually look at it. Holy shit. So he's got, okay, so there's a 4-page report here. Good to know. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. We're going to read through this, chat. We're going to look through this after the fact. And then I think we'll look through the we'll look at the company. See how reputable they are.
Lesson number 1 as a weeb. Always put away the sauce when live. Also, what kind of ninja has an air fryer in his room? I'm embarrassed to be black sometimes.
I'm sure you could probably find one of them. You know? No, 3D printer doesn't count. I was about to just say I have a 3D printer in my room, but a 3D printer is not the same as a fucking food cooker. You know, I would say that like having a mini fridge in your room is a little different. People would probably say that a mini fridge is okay, but that's like a luxury-based thing to have in your room. Something that I guess I would expect to see somebody like LeCurry have in his room, I guess. But yeah, just like having an air fryer in your room, like, does that actually get washed often? I hope it does, you know? But yeah, look at this. We will go through this here. So if you don't get to read all of this here, we will go through it. But he submitted his entire computer, which is kind of crazy to me, for a forensic report. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Look at the date. Look at the date here. This was returned on May 13th. So like almost about a month and some change ago, basically. Look at when he requested it. Look at when he requested it. He requested it in April of this year, when this incident happened in January. Now, I am not a forensics expert by any stretch of the imagination. I do know that it is very, 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 very difficult for you to scrub a PC of just about anything, because even if you quote-unquote delete files, files aren't actually deleted off of your computer. You know, we'll say that you have a whole hard drive that's full of data. It does not actually get deleted when you put things into the recycle bin. The way a hard drive works is the stuff that you put into the recycling bin is basically marked by the system to be written over. It does not go into a magical ethos deleted sphere. It is literally just, I am allowed to write over what this particular set of code that I have already written, and that code is basically erased by being overwritten, if that makes sense. Is the easiest way to explain it. So when you delete files, you're not deleting them. You're just telling the computer that it can write over them, basically. So, in order to actually delete something from your computer completely, all right, you would have to basically write the entire thing to max. You would have to fill up the entire, and now it's probably a little different based on different hard drives and how they work. but you basically would have to write a whole bunch of information to the hard drive to max it out. Let's say I have a 4 terabyte as my boot disk. I would have to write the entire disk. Now, granted, that's a solid state drive, and solid state drives might be a little bit different. But I would have to write the entire drive in order to get rid of it. Magnets? Well, magnets can definitely disrupt it. That's still not permanent. Still not permanent. Unless you completely and utterly destroy the disk. Like, if your goal is to completely destroy the disk, I guess that's one way of doing it. But even still, I am pretty sure there are ways for police, if they really, really, really want your data, to figure it out. So basically just download 2 Call of Duty games, and that's 500 gigabytes. Yes, 2 different ones. 2 different ones, you know? So basically, if you actually want to overwrite that hard drive and get rid of something, you have to not only delete it, but then overwrite the hard drive. Or destroy the hard drive and buy a new one. Okay, you guys are like going beyond the point that I'm trying to say here. I'm saying that like we're talking about this in the sphere of you're not gonna get rid of the hard drive, all right? Because you're basically this guy. You are Licari or Licuri or however the fuck you pronounce his name. You're not wanting to get rid of your computer. You want to keep it. So what are you gonna do? You have to write over it. You have to basically get all of the information and write over it. You know? I believe there are applications that delete by overwriting data with random bits. Yes, that is another thing that you can do. There are applications that can overwrite the entire system by just using random bits and pieces of information. And then you can like schedule all of that to be overwritten as soon as you want to write something real on there. But that's basically how information is actually deleted. It's very interesting and very useful. And again, there is no definite that your information will 100% be deleted. I do believe that there are ways to recover select bits and pieces of information. There is just a certain point in my understanding that there is just a certain point where you can no longer recover stuff. And so because of that, like if you are sussed out that somebody might have material on their computer, that's why you got to get it examined quickly, because like if they just overwrite material for a certain amount of time, it's gone. Although I don't think pedophiles are that smart, real pedophiles, because I think a real pedophile wouldn't delete that from their system. Most of them probably wouldn't. I don't know. Listen, I already don't think that many criminals are smart, pedophiles most especially. So I don't think that like that shit would be deleted from their system. If you catch what I'm saying here. Anyway, all that really to just say is he submitted this to a forensics company. I guess we'll take a look into the forensics company, you know, after we go through all of this. And apparently it came back blank.
As you can see, the report is on the screen now.
1 page of the report, by the way. The moral of the story is stay away from this stuff and it won't be an issue. Yes. Just don't like mess with illegal material on your computer, and you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, exactly. Just don't worry about it. Just don't fucking mess with it. And you know, yeah, just don't worry about it.
The key finding is that no illegal material was found on any of my devices.
Any of your devices. I'm going to assume that there's more than just your Starforge. Dude. Okay. I didn't recognize this. This is the evidence. Dude. Reading this makes me laugh so hard because some motherfucker, the Examiner, listen, Stephen Scott Broderhausen, that is the name of the Examiner here, had to physically write out this report. And in the report, for evidence item number 1, it is Starforge FreeRen Gaming PC. I'm gonna assume that Steven is some old motherfucker who doesn't watch anime. And when he got this forensics report, he's like, what the fuck am I looking? You know, I'm curious if I can find this. Here, hold on. Let's see if I can find this. Oh my gosh, there's a bundle for it. Oh my gosh. So this is... Holy shit. So this is what the examiner had to look at. Oh my gosh. He's innocent, Your Honor. He has Mistress Freeman. Oh, so the fucking examiner had to look through this computer. Oh man, that's hilarious. This is amazing. Oh, show me the specs here. Okay, this is just with the oh, there's different things you can get here. Holy shit, that's expensive. Wow, that is amazing. So this is the computer, I believe. It's at least the first thing that came up. That's what they had to examine. It looks cool. Oh, I'm not going to say it doesn't look cool, all right? It looks plenty cool. I'm just imagining some no idea forensics examiner who doesn't watch anime that gets this into his office. He's got to examine it. He's thinking that this guy could potentially have CSAM on his computer, and that's what plops on his desk. I don't know what I would think, but I would be initially a little bit suspicious myself. You know, I would be just like, this guy's accused of what again? Holy shit. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, let's continue.
If you guys want access to the report and the FAQ that comes along with it, you can type !forensics in the chat.
This was apparently a real thing, that if you like typed that into the Twitch chat, you could get access to this. He also, again, we have access to the report ourselves, and we're going to read it after this.
So,
sorry, my apologies. I'm hiding his face here. You guys want to see his face here? He's kind of being emotional, kind of crying, kind of the deal here. There you go. You get to see him now.
Beyond the incident itself, I also have personal problems I needed to address.
Oh boy. Should have got the quartering. Yeah. So chat, here's where he's going to talk about his personal problems, and I'm not going to make too much fun of him. I am going to make fun of him, just not too much, because, like, you know, everybody's got problems, and I get it, you know.
A lot of stress and anxiety. I had trouble sleeping, and I was using my hentai addiction to try to cope with that all.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. You know, gotta watch something spicy in order to cool down at night, you know? I'm not gonna make fun of that. I'm sure a lot of men out there probably would say that they did the same thing to cool down after a stressful night if they're, like, single, you know? I imagine if you're married, you would probably enjoy your wife or your husband, you know? But, like, I don't think he's married. I think he's in a... Oh, excuse me. You know, jork the pain away. Yeah, I'm sure that's what... I don't think that's probably a perfect result, or that's probably not the perfect idea to deal with your anxiety. I don't know. I feel like maybe jerking off too much might make your anxiety worse. I have no idea. Kind of funny. It is kind of funny. Yeah, yeah, because I'm sure a lot of men can probably relate to that. You would never get that out of me. That's fair. You would never get that out of me either. You know, I'm not telling you my habits. You don't need to know. I'm sorry. I'm just. Oh fuck!
I was severely addicted to hentai games, and I
You wouldn't get that out of me either.
would download and collect them.
Like I said, chat. I guess like this man is just Pokemon hunting a bunch of different he's Pokemon hunting his hentai games. Oh fuck.
Every night after stream. Like 20 at a time.
Excuse me? I didn't know that you could download hundreds at this point different hentai games. That is a lot. That is a lot of hentai games. 20 at a time. I know he's probably like exaggerating. That is a lot of hentai games though. And you have to think this isn't just on Steam, because I highly doubt there's that many on Steam, you know? He's gloating. Maybe. But like that's a lot of hentai games, man. He's got a kink for sharing. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Hey yo.
And this time away has really given me the chance to get my shit together. I completed a 30-day outpatient program.
Okay, so he went to therapy for his gooner addiction. You know what? That's good. If you feel like you're having a problem, you need to seek professional help for it, you should do it. You should 100% do it. Go get yourself a little bit of help so that you can take care of your gooning problem. All right? All things in moderation, you know? Don't goon so hard that you goon to the sun, you know? So if he's getting his gooning condition under control, then that's good. That's good, you know?
And I've been seeing a therapist consistently for the past 6 months.
I have to wonder how those therapy sessions go. Again, I'm not going to make fun of a man because he's trying to better himself mentally. I can't imagine how those therapy sessions started out. So hi, I'm
From MommaOcco.
Thank you.
He's probably the kind of person to download all the games with NTR.
Probably. I have no idea. I wouldn't. I'm not into NTR games. I don't know. I don't feel like that's something I'd be into. I'm be honest with you. I don't really have a lot of hentai games to begin with. I have Corruption of Champions because everybody has Corruption of Champions. It's just not that interesting to me. But yeah, I imagine everybody or most people do. I don't think I'd ever download a NTR game. Don't know. Don't know.
I genuinely want to be better and do better.
Well, that's good. That's good. Like I said, don't goon so far to the sun that you end up like this.
I'm working really hard to build healthier routines.
Put on the collar. I'll put on the collar soon. When we start playing video games, I'll put on the collar, sir.
First off, I started a keto diet with my mom, so that's...
I'm not going to mock a man that wants to improve his health.
That's good. And I've been working out consistently with my nephew, helping him out with his football stuff. He's got into football, and me and my brother, he's going to the same school as my brother and stuff, so that's cool. But other than that, sorry, a second. Other than that,
From MommaOcco.
Thank you.
The best place to find good H games are anything that Seth puts in his game reviews.
That's funny. I don't know Corruption of Champions. It is a text-based transformation game. Really huge on transformation stuff.
You know, a lot of you guys have been here for like 5-10 years. You've been watching and supporting my stream for a very long time. And it makes me really happy you guys are still here. It makes me happy to see you guys here. And sorry, I didn't expect to get emotional. But to say the least, it's really put into perspective how lucky I am to be able to entertain all of you guys for a living. With that said, I do want to focus on moving forward with the changes I've made.
So he's going back to streaming. Basically, he's not leaving streaming. Like, he spent 6 months away, and now he's going back to streaming, basically.
I want to stay consistent.
Don't fake cry? Do you think he's fake crying? I don't know. I think he's for real. Look at his bloodshot eyes. He's definitely got something going on.
And I actually want to be a better person this time. I'm going to continue to work on myself and become better. I want to build a stronger community, stronger than the one we had before, so we can play games like we used to. Have fun and meme.
Amal would date this
chat.
goober. He's black. Are you kidding me? Amal wouldn't date him. I don't know what you're talking about.
And just shoot the shit. So, thank you guys for sticking around and giving me a chance. I know it may take a while, but I do want to build a stronger community for you guys moving forward. I'm going to take a 5-minute break and then we'll start the stream. I'm sorry.
I'm not trying to laugh at the guy crying, but it is kind of funny to me. Guys, eyes are bloodshot because he ate spider. That's very cruel of you. Straight from the air fryer.
Sorry.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, and he walks away. I don't know, guy. Do you think it's real? Do you think it's real? Maybe it's real. Who knows? Oh, Chad, I could subscribe with Prime. I can give him my Prime subscription. That's funny. That's really, really funny. Holy shit. No, don't do that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That is still him. All right, so let's take a look at this forensics report here. So there's a Q&A. Okay, yeah, there's a Q&A, and then there is the PDF report itself. So I just think we should take a quick look through it. Probably not going to read the entire thing because there's no real need to, but there's 4 pages here. And that's important. Seems legit, you know? So this is by, again, Exhibit A, Computer Forensics. They are out of San Antonio, Texas. They have a private eye license. So, you know, if you doubt them, you can look it up and it's legit. I believe it's legit. Based off of this licensing right here, the officialness of this, I believe that this report here is legit. It would be pretty insane for him to fake that kind of thing, in my personal opinion. But maybe I need to not assume and just assume malice off the rip. I don't know. But I'm just going to assume that this is real. So, give me 1 second. Let's go through this here. You think he'll goon in moderation? If he's going to therapy, hopefully. All good things in moderation, you know what I mean? All good things in moderation. From all I've seen of his career, he mostly stayed to himself. Yeah. He's faking it's 5D chess. It's possible. Oh no, I am offline. What do you mean I am offline? I'm still streaming, right, chat? Why does it say I'm offline? I don't know. Anyway, let's go through this here. See, evidence 1 is the Starforge free-run PC. On April 10th of 2026, Tremel Tennyson, which I believe is his name, retained Exhibit A Computer Forensics to conduct a comprehensive digital forensics examination of his gaming computer. The purpose of the examination was to determine whether any illegal or prohibited content was present on the system following an incident that occurred during a live stream on January 22nd, 2026. Again, he's waited 3 months in order to do this. I don't understand why.
Thank you, user, for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. By the way, now that we're done with that, I can turn the music back on. Hell yeah. I can't see you. You're still loading. Uh-huh. No audio. Okay, you guys are assholes. You guys are mean. That's super mean of you guys. See, now you're even trolling the chat. Now the chat thinks that you guys are being serious. Don't do that. Let's see here. A full forensic analysis was conducted on the submitted computer system. No illegal, disturbing, or child sexual abuse material was located anywhere on the device. All major artifact locations were thoroughly examined, including full physical forensic imaging, memory-related files, volume shadow copies, system volume information, browser cache and download artifacts, application execution artifacts, unallocated space, file slack, and carved data, and over 250,000 images manual. Dude, that is a lot of images. That is a lot. This man, this Enwa had 250,000 images on his computer. Now, this ain't no grandma or mom that are storing pictures of their family members. That's a lot of pictures on there. I assume of hentai. I assume. I don't know what else he's got on there. I'm assuming he's probably got normal pictures as well. That's a lot of images on there. You can't tell me that some of it isn't at the very least a little sus. Way too many. I probably have more. Oh man, I gotta. I know I have at least over 100 images of Akko. I know for a fact I don't have that many pictures just in total. You know, it's like 5 gigabytes. I guess it depends on how high quality the picture is, you know. A lot of images. No evidence of the alleged disturbing content was present in any recoverable location. Let's see. So now we're going to go through the different processes here. A bit-by-bit forensic image of the primary hard drive was acquired using a Tableau TD3 forensic duplicator on April 10th. So they duplicated his hard drive, which is what they do. They like image the entire hard drive. They copy it over to another hard drive, and then they go into the hard drive on their system, basically. Again, we're not going to read the entire thing here, but this is the different things that they did. They did memory and system files, volume shadows, system volume information and file system activity, cleaner activity, image and media reviews. Oh, it says right here. Over 250,000 images were processed and manually reviewed by the examiner. Most of the images were from computer gaming programs. Dude. You know for a fact, since this guy got a lot of hentai games, that they're all from hentai games. If I'm that forensic examiner, I'm like, I've seen it all, buddy. I've seen it all, buddy. No questionable, illegal, or disturbing images were found. Let's see. Okay, so this is the summary right here. A comprehensive forensic examination was performed on the submitted computer system. After exhaustive I bet you it's exhaustive. Analysis using industry standard digital forensics tools and methodologies, no illegal, disturbing, or child sexual abuse material was located in any recoverable location on the device. Examination included a full physical forensic imaging process with magnetic axiom, extensive carving of unallocated space, detailed analysis of memory-related files, system for volume information, browser artifacts, application execution history, registry data, and file slack. Additionally, over 250,000 images were processed and manually reviewed by the examiner with the negative results for questionable content. Although system files such as page file, SYS, Hyperfill, SYS, and volume shadow copy infrastructure were observed to have been recreated. Oh, interesting. So it was recreated on February 26th through timeline analysis and keyword searches around this period revealed no evidence of sophisticated anti-forensic tools or intentional data destruction. No artifacts indicative of alleged content from January 22nd, 2026 incident were recovered. Oh, that's interesting. No artifacts indicative of alleged content were recovered. Interesting. Interesting. I feel bad for the people that have to search through his stuff. I do too. Yeah. These findings support the conclusion that no evidence of the reported disturbing material exists on the examined systems. The absence of any such content across all major forensic artifact locations is significant given the depth and breadth of the examination conducted. So basically, they looked through his entire computer. They did all the things that are currently you're able to do in order to look through it. And they said, yeah, there's nothing on here except for maybe a bunch of Gooner material. But they didn't say that. All right, so what is this Q&A here? Yeah, this is a Q&A. Or an FAQ, excuse me. Questions. What is with the February 26 dates on the report? Does this mean that Tremel wiped his computer to hide evidence? No, February 26 simply refers to the date when Windows automatically recreated some normal system files and the system volume information folder. This is common Windows behavior and does not mean the drive was wiped. The examiner specifically looked for signs of intentional data destruction and found none. No advanced wiping tools or suspicious activity were detected. So basically, the computer did what computers do routinely. And, ooh, I got something in my DMs here. Sorry. This is way more important to me than anything else. Aww. Aww, that's amazing. Hold on, chat. That's amazing. Sorry, give me 1 second. That is precious right there. Let me bring this up for you, chat. This is amazing. Chat. Oh, can I, yeah, there we go. I finally have the Australian Yippee. An emu? Yeah, it's a Yippee with an emu hat on. It's an emu Yippee. Here, I'm gonna send this to I'm gonna send this to my good friend Espiritu now. Poor guy's upside down. What do you mean? He's right side up actually. Where is Espiritu? There he is. It actually sent to him upside down. The Yippee was eaten by dingoes. No. Beautiful. Just to show you guys. Just to show you guys the different Yippies I have here, because I do have a lot of them. Here, let me view as extra large icons. No, large is good enough. I have a lot of Yippies. I have a lot of Yippies, chat. Only one of them is upside down. I love it. It's impressive that Australians can't fall into space. You are correct. I just love how she called it emu. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Sorry about that. Let's continue here. Let's see. Anyway, let's continue going through this here because I wanted to read through this here. If the system files were reset on February 26, why should we believe anything was actually checked? Forensic Examiner used industry standard tools to search the entire hard drive, including deleted files, unallocated space, and carved data. Over 250,000 images were manually reviewed, and extensive keyword searches were performed. The report confirms that no illegal or disturbing content was found in any recoverable location, even after these detailed checks. Why were there any volume shadow copy backups from before February 26? Volume shadow copies are automatic window backups on this gaming PC. They were not recreated on February 26 along with other system files. This is normal behavior and does not mean evidence was destroyed. The examiner confirmed that there were no signs of someone manually deleting old backups to hide anything. Let's see. Does the lack of older shadow copies mean you couldn't check data from before January 22nd? No, the examiner was still able to recover and review files going all the way back to July 20th of 2022. Holy cow. Okay, so this guy was able to go back deep if he wanted to find stuff. Over 3.5 years before the January 22nd incident, plenty of historical data was available and thoroughly examined. Couldn't Trimmel have just deleted everything bad on February 26th? The report specifically addresses this. The examiner looked for signs of intentional data destruction, such as advanced cleaning tools being used in a suspicious way, and no evidence of that. Downloading CC Cleaner and Specky right before the system file reset is consistent with normal PC maintenance, not a cover-up. Why was C Cleaner downloaded on February 26th? C Cleaner is a very common legitimate program many gamers and PC users download to clean temporary files or clean up space. I've never heard of this before. This is new to me. Report confirms it was downloaded from the official website and there's no evidence it was used to permanently wipe or hide any illegal content. Oops. What was exactly checked during the investigation? And we already went through all of that. An automatic adult content detector in forensic software also returned those results. By the way, chat, there is AIs that are made to detect illegal material. And if the AI detects the illegal material, it will just be able to detect it. That's why there's like... there is some photos with hash values that if you upload them, you'll get banned, even if it's not illegal, because it has similar hash values to illegal material. Which, by the way, is absolutely insane, in my personal opinion. Absolutely fucking insane. But, you know, just is what it is. Was any illegal or disturbing content found at all? No. The report is clear. Cool. How far back was the examiner able to look? User files dated back to July 20th of 2022 at 10:55 p.m., over 3.5 years old. The computer was imaged on April 10th. This gave the examiner a very wide window to search for any evidence. Why should we trust this report? The examination was performed by a licensed Texas private investigator and digital forensics examiner using court-accepted tools and methods. A licensed investigator in Texas is legally required under Texas Business and Commerce Code to immediately report any suspected child sexual abuse material to law enforcement if discovered during examination. Because no such material was found, the computer was returned to the client. The report was not altered or shortened and clearly states that after reviewing everything recoverable, no evidence supporting the allegations was found. The goal was to find the truth. Cool. So yeah, basically, if you trust this forensics company, this guy's got nothing on his system. Guy's got nothing on his system. A guy got arrested for a picture with the same hash value as a real pic. I believe it. I 100% believe it. Which is why I think that's kind of crazy. So yeah, the end of the story there is this guy is innocent. Surprisingly, very innocent. And so, I still think man made some stupid mistakes. He shouldn't be downloading games off of the internet just from random websites. That's very retarded of him. Chat, if it's not on Steam, I wouldn't download it. Maybe on GOG, who knows? But like, I am very reluctant to download games that aren't on Steam. Excuse me. Whew. Sorry, my apologies. And so I think because of that, I think he's just gonna like slowly reintegrate with his people. And by with his people, I mean the other streamers. And so, hey, there you go. I'm still not sure what I think. But I trust a forensics company to do their job. And if they didn't do their job, then obviously there'd be a problem there. But he's still bald and black. This is true. He is still bald. And he still is black. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Remember to goon responsibly. I agree. I agree. So no COC. I don't know what COC. Oh, Corruption of Champions. I don't play Corruption of Champions on camera because that could get you in trouble. It's basically like reading an Anna Valen's article, only somebody actually knows how to do ERP, and I ain't doing that on stream. Anyway, I know some people want me to do the shot collar thing, and so we will. I've been live for what? 2 hours already. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm tired. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about one thing that is related to VTubers that I think is interesting. And then you can tell me if you want me to talk about the iDubbbz lawsuit or if you just want me to move on to games. And if we move on to games, I can still potentially talk about the lawsuit. I'm just like gonna be playing video games with the shot collar on. I'll leave that up to you guys. Whew. Give me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. I'm sick and keep falling asleep. No, you're good. You need to rest. Rest, man. I'm not allowed to rest because I'm here to entertain. I'm here to work. But you should rest if you need to rest, you know? iDubbbz is my favorite VTuber. I thought he stopped doing the VTuber thing though. I thought he was done with that. I'm confused. Anyway. Give me 1 second to open a thing. Okay, holy shit. All right, so let's do this. All right, so I discovered this on Twitter like a day ago. And then I noticed a lot of people slowly start to talk about it. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, which is why I am bringing it up. Let me jump to the main screen here. So, Sarai wasn't the first person I saw bring this up, but they are one of the people that brought it up, and I figured we would share it. So, they say, there is a website re-uploading VODs without the creator's consent, and to make it worse, they're charging people to access them at Stream Recorder. And she shows a picture of a website where her stream VODs are being uploaded to this platform where people can view the VODs of the streamer. Now, to keep it pretty simple for chat, that's basically a guy that likes to upload his favorite Oshis or his favorite streamers, and he is manually uploading it to either his own cloud storage or another company's cloud storage and operating it as a website. And this guy, whoever is using Stream Recorder, is asking that people pay if they want to watch channels. I'm aware of this. Yeah, I became aware of this like I said, yesterday, today, this kind of thing. It was like late yesterday. This ain't surprising. Yeah, I'm not. Listen, if you want my personal opinion on VOD storage, I don't care. You know, my personal opinion is like 1 to 2 days after a stream is live, I have basically exhausted, in my personal opinion, all that I really want from it. Most of the views from a VOD happens literally the stream that it happens, and maybe like a day or two afterwards, because you're going to have people that catch up with a stream afterwards. So I don't really care if somebody like backs up my VODs. Like, legitimately, my only question is like, wait a day or two. You know, you can back it up, but don't like throw it up there to the public until like a day or two later, because then pretty much people will be done with it. And, you know, there's a lot of other nice little things that like I know are probably just not going to happen, but if it happened, it would be nice. You know, stuff like obviously saying who the streamer is, saying where you can find the original video, you know, that kind of data that, in my personal opinion, is really nice to add on as like an extra. But I know that most people will never do. And when it comes to channels that their goal is just to back up stuff, they're not going to do that. They're just going to, well, to be honest with you, most of the crediting is just saying who the name of the streamer is and what the name of the stream is. What about like a YouTube archive? That stuff happens as well. So a lot of streamers are coming across the stream recorder like website, and I'm seeing just like a lot of mixed reactions from this. My opinion is, again, I don't really care if people save my VODs or upload my VODs. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't seen anybody do it yet. I am the only one that is slowly starting to back up my own shit. But I don't necessarily mind or care, because like, in the grand scheme of things, if you want to keep your content preserved forever, you either need to yourself be autistic about it, or you need somebody else that's autistic about it so that it lives on forever. So my personal opinion is I don't really care. I've always just kind of seen it as like a thing that people do. But some people are very upset with this. And I think the reason why people are upset with this is you have to pay money in order to use the website. That seems to be, at the very least, a lot of people's issues with this. I did check out the quotes very briefly. And Triggered is pointing this out. He's saying you have to pay $10 to use it per month, all that kind of shit. And he is saying, again, he's like saying stolen content. And is it stolen content? Technically, if you just straight re-upload a video, it is considered stolen content. I think a lot of people would not care as much if it's a big corporation or a big company. People tend to care a little bit more when it's smaller content creators or just content creators in general. But yes, technically, if you want to go based off of copyright, like law and copyright enforcement, this is basically just taking somebody's content and re-uploading it to another platform. Now, if you want my personal opinion, again, I just don't care. But people are going to have a lot of thoughts or feelings about this kind of stuff. I am curious to see what people think about this yourselves. Here's what I will say, though. This website is charging people in order to view the content. I'm not surprised, you know. I am not necessarily surprised that a website where their goal is to back up and store a lot of streamers' content, I am not surprised that they're asking for money in order to continue doing that. Because unless this guy is using his own terabytes of data in order to do this backing up, that's really expensive to ask another company to do. You think about how much it takes to have a stream. Like, my normal 3 to 4 hour streams are about 3 to 5 gigabytes per stream. And I have hundreds of streams. Most of them, if you average it out, are about 3 to 5 hours. If you just average out all of my streams, it's about 3 to 5 hours worth of content per stream. So you're looking at probably 3 to 5 gigs, 3 to 6 gigs of data every single stream. And, you know, backing that up isn't cheap. Unfortunately, these days it's not cheap. And so I'm not saying it's right, but I know why this guy is charging people to use the website. And the reason why he's charging people to use the website is so that he can keep the lights on and keep doing this as a project or a program. For what reason, God only knows. It's just an archive service, you know. Now, if you're curious, because I did pull up the website myself, I am not on here. If you put in my oh, that's not how you type my name. That is also not how you type my name. If you type in my name, you get a bunch of weird Gooner related content. I am not on the website. Ain't no way this isn't costing someone thousands in data storage. Yeah, so my thought process is, again, either it's this guy's own system that he is running, where if it is, good God, it's on a cracker, that's insane. Or he's like, there's some weird kind of seed funding and all this kind of shit. I have no idea. And by the way, this isn't just live streams that are being captured. As you can see here, he's capturing all kinds of different places. He's got, like, here, look at this. These are latest recordings. Let's look at the latest recordings that this guy has done. All the latest recordings. I'm going to assume that since they are from these websites that they are, for the most part, safe for work. But these are, I'm seeing TikTok. What the fuck? Why is there a child there? That weirds me out. What the fuck? I'm seeing TikTok. I am seeing Twitch. They're YouTube. I'm not seeing a lot of YouTube. I'm seeing a lot of TikTok and Twitch here. That's really depressing. This is extremely depressing, gonna be honest with you. All right, let's see. What's most recent on YouTube? The internet is more depressing than Vegas. That's funny. Wow. That's funny. That's funny. I remember Zentrea getting drunk on stream once and deleting it. I wonder if that's there. Who knows? But a lot of streamers are on this website, and a lot of people are really upset that this website exists. And again, my thought process is, when you have a website, when you have people that exist and make content, this is just kind of like the natural progression of that kind of thing. You're going to have people that will back up stuff because they want to keep it held down forever, you know. If you had to pay per video, I wouldn't like it, but for the whole service, it's more understandable. Yeah, I'm curious. Let's see here. I am not doing that. No, thank you, actually. I'm not interested in doing that. Thank you. I am curious here. So I'm going to assume that Grixit here is showing me... I'm going to assume that Grixit here is showing the actual thing here. Now, I have no idea, because, like, for free, you get 3 streamers that you get to just watch for free. So if you have your 3 favorite streamers, you get to have them backed up for free. And I'm wondering if you can submit suggestions for streamers. Who knows? But I'm assuming that once you jump onto one of these plans, you can do as many people as you want. Because look at all these free services. Free. Look at all these things you get for it. Oh, hi there.
Hey, I was doing some looking because I was curious about this. Go to, and I'll send you the email link to the terms of service portion of this thing, and then go down to number 3, intellectual property rights.
Oh dear. Intellectual property rights. Where is that?
You want to go down to 3.3.
Okay. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Tiny Redman, birthday boy. Yes, birthday boy. Chat.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
I got my son played 3 different times and had custom animations for it. I'm cool. And I also got to hear from Jim that he got his bane for his buck for that song, and he rocks out to it every time he listens to it.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad he likes it. You should show him the SCP Foundation is talking again about Pride Month.
Oh God.
Yeah. I I'm curious, before we go through and reading all this, what is your thought process on this whole thing? On just backing up content? Because I know you do a backup of a specific streamer's content every single time he streams. So you're all for backing up people's content, but what do you think about this?
So, there's different layers to it. If it's for somebody who wants to back up a stream or back up a video, and it has no access to the public,
Okay.
I particularly do not find an issue with it.
Okay.
Because it's the same. It's the same as recording it or saving it to OneDrive or anything like that.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that this is not that.
No.
And it sounds like that whoever, so somebody can pay for the service and say, hey, I want to back up the streams from these people, and whatever that does, it's available to the public or who else pays for the service, right?
Yes.
That's why I have the issue with it.
Is the pay for service.
Well, no, it's the fact that it's available to anyone else.
Right.
It's like having a OneDrive. Okay, I'm gonna save this video to my OneDrive, but your OneDrive is open to the entire public for anyone to see.
Right.
I look at those lines.
I see. No, I get that.
And another thing too is like, yeah, I stream snipe Mr. Medica, and that's who you're talking about, I
Yeah.
would believe. And
Yes.
there's some archivists. The thing is Jim has kind of like stated out to the public. He even reaffirmed it a couple days ago with Purity Sin and publicly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't care, and he wants people to archive it. He doesn't keep it up on his channel because too many people like to
Mess with him.
flag him and mess with it and stuff like that. So he just doesn't deal with it.
Right.
So he allows archivers to do it. And he also says he doesn't care. He's like, put as much monetization as you want it, put as much commercials as you want it. He doesn't care. Make your money from it.
Right. But not
everyone's
everybody's
like
like
that.
that.
Not everyone's like that.
No.
And you do have to, you know, this got a really, really fine line for me, because I get like, okay, uploading a clip, uploading a mash, a clip, so doing something transformative with it. I'm okay with that. But
Right.
people who just yank entire video down and put it up for other people to see when that stream is still up or that video is still up, that is theft in my book.
No, I would agree. I would say that it does go against copyright.
There is an argument you can do, because I was going through the H3, not the H3, the
Aquila Hughes.
Sargon car. Yeah, I was going through those cases, and they made mention of published and unpublished works, and they go through different standards for those, because there's been times where a completely copied work has been put out somewhere,
Right.
but because the original was unpublished, it's looked on to as archival. But there's a whole rigmarole you gotta go through for that archival status. It's
Right.
just not anyone can really nilly do it.
Right.
So if it was just for the sole person who's paying for the subscription, I would have no fucking issue with it. If it's for the fact that once a person does that, it's out there for everyone to do it, you get into legal territory where you can really get fucked. And unfortunately, the terms of service, especially 3.3, will fuck them on that one.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, no, yeah, my personal opinion, because like as I just reiterated, I don't know if you heard it, my opinion is once my stream has been up for 2 or 3 days, I really don't care what people do with it, because by that point, all of the views that I would have gotten from the stream are gone, and because of how YouTube's algorithm works, I don't care with how people use it. I just care about those first 2 days, and then afterwards, go off king, basically. But I know, but because straight re-uploading is basically just a one-for-one reproduction, it is a market replacement, effectively a market replacement for that. I do agree that it is basically like copyright infringement, and anybody that wanted to make a big stink about it would probably win in the court because it is considered copyright infringement.
Yeah. And especially, like I said, especially because they do some weasel warding around in their terms of service. Especially, I want to say.
Okay. We'll read it then.
Yeah.
What do you think? We should just read through all of 3?
You can go through. I mean, you can go ahead and read through all of it if you want.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll do that. Ownership. Unless otherwise stated, the website and service are our property. This includes source code, databases, functionality, software designs. Excuse me. They're protected under copyright laws, trademark laws, international conventions, and other intellectual property laws. Stream Recorder is a registered trademark in the European Union. Oh, okay. And in the United States of America. Okay, so they're going to get something in the U.S. It's patent pending in the U.S. No portion of the site or content may be copied, reproduced, summarized, republished, uploaded, posted, publicly displayed, encoded, transcoded, transmitted, distributed, sold, licensed, or otherwise exploited for any commercial purpose without our express prior written permission. An exception is made for resellers officially licensed by us who may use logos of Stream Recorder as well as excerpts of the content for their distribution. We reserve all rights not expressly granted to you in connection with the site's content and marks. All right, intellectual property rights and user responsibilities. Stream Recorder respects the intellectual property rights of others and expects the users of the service to do the same. Stream Recorder does not claim ownership rights in any content that the users record or download. All rights to such content are retained by the original creators or rights holders. By using Stream Recorder, you acknowledge that you are solely responsible for obtaining all necessary. So wait, is this something that users can put content on the website, or is it only the website that puts content up there? How does that work?
I don't know. Because it sounds like that's. I haven't used the site, so I don't know exactly how it works. But they're able to put streams from other sites. I mean, I'm wondering if they're intending it for individuals and the people making the streams, or they're wanting those people to do it.
Okay.
And it's not intended for some random Joe Smo to come in and do this, which sounds like that's what's happening.
Okay.
So I'm not entirely for sure, but that's very sloppy on their part to not have any kind of like a verification on it.
Right.
But also, by the sounds of what you read earlier before I hopped in, pick your 3 favorite streamers.
Right.
So it's not.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think that really is what they're looking at. I think they're looking at, you come into the service, you can archive anything, but they then go into terms of service and use this weasel warding and go, well, we're not responsible for what anyone does with it.
Right. Sorry, my VLC is fucking acting up right now, and I'm really pissed off about that. Chad, I have something I need to show you after I'm done here, but I need VLC to stop messing up here. A lot is going to be removed under TOS. It's possible.
Well, and there's a content removal in 3.4.
Mm-hmm.
So, what point were you at?
Just 3.3 bullet point 1 here.
Okay.
So it continues on by saying, you will not use Stream Recorder to